Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the Coldest of Takes podcast. It's a live episode recording. About to get into the pod with my man John, and we're gonna get this thing squared away, and should have a nice podcast tonight. Got a lot of things to discuss, like the Eagles, the NFL conference championship games, and who knows? Who knows what's up the sleeve of the Coldest of Takes podcast? Who knows? As always, follow, like, and subscribe. Coldest Takes anywhere you can find for podcasts at st_catcher on Twitter at John J Pat on Twitter, and yeah, John. Hmm. John. John.
Now you're gonna tell me this is my guy, Mike. How are you?
Doing good, my man. How are you? Sorry for the technical. My it connected to the wrong headphones. I got so many pairs.
Oh,
The old Bluetooth situation. Got so many things it connects here and there.
like I was learning about Roku stuff today, which is banana pants to me. I don't understand it yet. So
Oh,
what's
that's easy.
compatible with what? Yeah, no, that's what they tell me, and I have the dumb questions. I'm like that guy at Best Buy who asks is this Wi-Fi or Bluetooth? I'm that guy. But anyway, Mike, how you doing, pal?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, John. How are you? It's nice to be here tonight on the Coldest Takes podcast. We're gonna give you some cold takes on the life, on sports. We are just two dudes that grew up together, and we now live on opposite sides of the U.S. John's out in California. I'm out in Mass. And you can follow me on Twitter at st_catcher. John, tell the people where you're at, and we'll get the ball rolling, baby. I'm pretty excited to talk to you tonight, man. I missed you, and
Yes.
I miss you, bud.
I missed you too, pal. But I had to get in here. Coldest Takes, Mike, on every platform where you can get every podcast. I think that's the thing. So do that. Everybody listens. Do that. That'd be great. John J. Pat on Twitter. John Wick on Instagram. Mike, I have a life-changing update, but it ends in questions. So just give me a quick second to explain, all right?
Yeah, man. Take your time.
All right. So I'm moving in with my girlfriend, all right? And blah, 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 we're cute and all that. I know. It's fine.
Congratulations.
Right? Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wonderful clap. I get it. I'm almost fucking 30. I get it. I figured it out now, but she's great. And, the one. We're going to see where that goes, but I'm very excited about it. She's wonderful, and I love her very much. Now, Mike,
Yes.
But we are going to be what first at that house, Mike? Not boyfriend and girlfriend, right? We're going to be roommates.
Ooh.
Now, Mike, that made me think. What are your pet peeves about a roommate? Now, not a big thing. Like, they're playing music at 4 a.m. You're trying to sleep. You know what I mean? Like, that's a big thing. But, like, what's one of the little pet peeves you ever had with a roommate? Like,
I would say a big pet peeve would just be like leaving stuff around the sink area that
oh, okay.
if we're leaving like the sink messy, like I don't want to be a part of that situation. You know
Oh,
what I
so you're
mean?
one of those. You're one of those people.
Yeah, there's no excuses for leaving the sink with any sort of hydration, any sort of debris, and you can't have too many products out there, type of thing.
So,
Gotta keep that neat.
quick question then for you, Mike. Do you make a meal and then eat and then clean up after, or do you make it clean up first and then eat because now you know that it's going to be clean? I know there's two different types of people in that way.
Man, I'm a big proponent of trying to plan out when I could potentially start the dishwashing process. I know that I'm not going to finish. I know that I want to eat my food hot, warm and
Right.
everything. So,
Yeah.
I'm not going to, and then also I'm not going to bust my balls to make sure that everything's clean and then have my food quality be lacking. I don't want that.
So that was my question. Like, so where you fall kind of in between, you clean as you go type of person.
Yeah, but it'll be something simple.
It's done. Whatever's left over is done by the end of it.
Right.
Okay. So I am a big I will get that later type of person.
Yeah, but so John, let me ask you, if you're saying I'm a type of person that I want to do that after I eat and stuff, sometimes sure, I get that, but aren't you more inclined to maybe let that slide to maybe where it's at that time frame that you don't really want to be doing dishes right now?
Well, nobody ever wants to do dishes, Mike, is my point. There is shit that you have to eat in life. Now, one of my things is I always fuck over future John. Okay, like present John is like future John will take care of that.
Right.
So in the moment, like say it's a football game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making some food real quick. Like this is just for example. And it's halftime. I'm making the food real quick. Well, after the game's over, I'm gonna go back in the kitchen and do the dishes. All right. So it's not like that long. That's about my length. But that one is not the one that bothers me, like as a roommate. Again, we're talking roommates.
Right.
I'm talking your own personal pad.
Right.
Which I appreciate from you, Mike. You'd be a great roommate in that respect.
I'm just like a or I.
You're a neat freak, Mike.
Like,
you are. It's fine. Those are good people. Everything's in its place.
Yeah, it's just like the places you want it. I feel like most people can identify that. Like you have your stuff, and like you have to have it a certain way. Like you probably have some of that going to some regard.
Mike, you're the majority here. Like in this conversation, you are the majority. You're with my girlfriend. You guys are both the same. It has to be in this place. It's there. That's why I put it there. Got to go back where it is. I am of if there's space, I'm putting it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my pet peeve, my biggest pet peeve as a roommate is I don't like a dirty room.
Okay, any room where you sleep.
No. Just where I sleep.
Right. That's a huge proponent to success. We got.
You have to make your bed every morning. You have to make your bed every morning. You have to put the pillows up in a certain way because you've started your day.
Right. If your pillows aren't in some like diamond or triangle fashion, then you're slipping up. Your blankets, you gotta get the right flow going. It's all about that. You ever hear the word feng shui?
Yeah, feng shui, baby. I know what that is.
It's all about bringing that good positive energy to your living space.
Yeah, exactly. And my thing is when I made my bed, I'm like, all right, I accomplished something. Now I'm gonna brush my teeth. Now I'm gonna you gotta hit the teeth in the morning, get into your day, right? You're all right. I made the bed first. Open the window, sun's in. Okay, here we are. Another day. This is what happened. This is what's happening. It sucks. I don't care. I'm tired. Whatever. But those are things you have to do, Mike, to start your day. See, me, I'm not a coffee person, right? Like some people get up and they have to have coffee right away to get that caffeine in them. And I appreciate that. I just don't like the taste of coffee, so I don't do it. But
right.
I gotta make the bed, Mike.
Do you have energy
Got it.
drinks if you don't drink coffee? Like, how do you get your energy throughout the day?
Water. I don't really drink caffeine that much anymore. I used to be an absolute fiend for it, Mike, but I weighed myself off and weighed myself down.
You take any vitamins?
Great.
Any vitamins? Vitamin C?
Oh, absolutely not. Unfortunately.
No vitamin C in the system?
Well, I drink orange juice in the morning. Like, I'll just have 8.
That's what it is, bro.
Juice.
That's what it is.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to take a multivitamin yet. I probably will end up doing that eventually. But, no, I have a glass of orange juice and some water in the morning. And, I'm also not hungry in the morning. I know a lot of people wake up and they have to have breakfast. I'm not a hungry person in the morning. I'll eat, like, a granola bar to open up my stomach. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I got you. I'm sorry to make you digress from your point, but I had, for a man to not have, some caffeine, whether it's in like tea or coffee or, you name it,
Wait a minute, Mike, now. You didn't talk about tea. I fuck with tea. Oh, tea's delicious.
Yeah, dude, I'm just trying to find out how you get your energy throughout the day, staying alert out there, kid.
A little bit of Earl Grey in the morning, it's got that good caffeine, the English do it, the Irish do it, they got a little honey in there, that's my sweet. I don't need any sugar, just a little dab, so mix it up. Oh, I fuck with tea hard. Warm tea as well. I like warm tea. Like, I like iced tea, like anybody, who's ever existed, but the warm tea in the morning, and regardless of, summer or winter, I like the warm tea.
With some honey?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Not bad.
What about you? So what do you do in the morning? You gotta eat. You gotta get that caffeine in you. Your energy drink, guy, coffee. What do you got?
Not big on the energy drinks. I had a bad experience with some energy drinks before in the past, so I'm not.
So they mess with your heart, bro. Like, they make your heart palpitate. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. It shouldn't be happening to my heart.
I don't know how people drink some of that stuff sometimes. Like, I marveled about, like, Four Loko, things like that. But, like, I don't know, for energy in the morning, I have a vitamin regimen. It's vitamin B is good for energy and stuff. Vitamin D, for the sun and everything like that, and the skin and the immune system. Hit up the lysine. That's always good. Some calcium. I've been taking vitamins for a while, so I like to hit that up. I don't really drink coffee. There was a time I was drinking tons of coffee. Like, I'd be going to Starbucks or Dunkin' or what have you. So we recently broke down this figure, right? So John, imagine. So you go to like Dunkin' or Starbucks or wherever. Just imagine like you buy something 3 to 4 times a week, 3 times a week, $12. Okay, that's it. Don't think about anything else. 3 times a week, $12. That's gonna be like around like over $2,000 for a year, and
$12 per order you need every week.
Yeah,
$36 a week.
Yeah, and that's just only if you're going, and that's only if you're going 3 times. So like, imagine if you were going every single day buying everything. So I remember a couple years ago, I would hit up Starbucks like all the time, and I would I'd get like a venti iced cafe mocha, which was basically just like black coffee with some chocolate in it. And,
which is great too, by the way. It's delicious.
Absolutely fantastic. I don't mess around too much, but that was my favorite thing to drink for coffee. Absolute favorite. Scrumptious. But then, it gets to a point where you're going to Starbucks and you got the Starbucks app, you're getting all these stars and you're racking up all these points, and you're just like, oh man, I'm trying to just get all these Starbucks rewards and I'm spending all this money. And then you're just like, oh man, I could just get a Keurig, get whatever coffee, just make it how I want. And so it was just like a steady progression. And now I don't drink coffee, strictly water. Water. I drink soda occasionally, but I don't know. Lemonade, I drink an occasional Arnold Palmer. But very.
Well, I mean, like that doesn't count. That's the liquid of the gods is an Arnold Palmer. So
but have you ever had like a cold Arnold? Like people are drinking that to wind down after a golf round or something like that. You add that to at like 7 o'clock in the morning, cold Arnold Palmer. That'll wake you up in the morning. It'll be like, oh man, what would Arnie do today? And you have
Yeah, see,
yourself.
that's the thing. Like when you get down off the caffeine train, or when you get off it, like I was for a while, or have been for a good minute.
Yeah, you used to be on the caffeine pretty hard.
Crush energy drinks, like I used to crush it. But then I started, like, my heart was racing all the time. I was like, this is not nice.
Yeah, this is not ideal here.
You got to tamper down, right? But then you're right, Mike. So I got on the point where I was no caffeine for a while, but in the morning I'm wicked thirsty. All I got is an Arnold Palmer in the fridge, which again, greatest marketing for being $1 just forever. It's $1 forever. It's the best thing you can buy with $1, and I will not hear it from anybody else if they have another opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
Arnold Palmer is or any Arizona drink. If you want to go that far, that's fine. I think the Arnold Palmer's the best. But you're right, Mike. It gives you a little juicier stuff, and when it's cold, Mike, that's a drink that has to be cold.
Right. Yeah, we're talking Coors Light Mountain Cold.
Yeah, right out of the fridge, Mike. You couldn't have had that hanging around all night and then you're drinking it in the morning. It's gonna taste like shit.
But yeah, bro. Wait, what about Yeah, I know what you mean. But what I was gonna say though, like, you got me missing coffee a little bit because you could make it a thing. Like, you could get coffee from some other. I got you get coffee beans from Italy or something. You make yourself like a special brew, cappuccino or something. You go. But I don't know. I was hitting the caffeine, the coffee train hard, but I really haven't drank coffee in a long time unless I absolutely were like, yeah, let's do that. I would say though, to wrap this up, and we'll head back to what you were saying. Krista and I, my girlfriend, but before the pandemic, before a lot of this stuff, and before becoming aware of how much coffee is and how all these different things. We used to love to go to Starbucks together, and that was one of the things that we used to really like to do before the pandemic hit. I would always remark about the stupid weird pictures that they have in Starbucks when it doesn't matter, whatever one you go in around the world, they have like a picture of just like
on the wall you're talking about.
Yeah, like any picture on the wall. Like they had like this particular one where it was just like a field of crops, but there was no crops, and there was just like a hoe.
It's a field of dirt.
Yeah. And it was just like waiting to be cultivated, and it just looked cool. And I was like, yeah, man, I would want that picture. So like I feel like any Starbucks you can identify, with that statement. Next time you go to Starbucks, look at those obscure pictures on the wall. You're like, what the hell is going on in this place?
I will totally do that now. If I ever go to Starbucks again, though, like in California, that is like the petri dish for COVID. Like you can do not go to Starbucks.
No.
Like they're on every corner. Like now, good thing, and I'll wrap this up with this, is I don't really like coffee. I love Dunkin' iced coffee. And my girlfriend lives about 3 blocks away in Huntington Beach from a Dunkin' Donuts, which is very rare in California.
Right,
so
that's pretty sick.
I need to get back in the iced coffee game.
Right.
Let
me ask you this about Dunkin' iced coffee. I feel like if you drink Dunkin' iced coffee, you have to hold it from the top down. You can't hold the drink from the side. You hold it from the top down. Like, you ever see that picture?
Everybody does.
You ever see that picture of Ben Affleck like crossing the street with
Yeah.
But I swear to God, something about Dunkin' Donuts, it just makes you hold it, vertically like that. Look into it.
You know what I like too, Mike? In the winter, you would ask him for the foam cup to be on the bottom of a medium iced coffee, so that way it wouldn't be wicked cold on your fingers as you're going.
You're telling me you did that?
Insulated. Oh my God, man!
You're
Absolutely,
soft.
I would ask for it every time. Mike, I ask for no ice in my iced coffee if I'm going home, so I'll put my ice in because they load that shit up with ice and don't give me enough coffee.
Right, that's true.
My grandma still asks for Baileys in her coffee, Mike. I mean, like our room for Baileys. She'll tell the Dunkin' people.
Oh man, dude, you want to talk?
It's not 1964.
You want to talk about a good time? The best coffee I probably ever had was when I was in Ireland.
You son of a bitch.
We went there. I swear it was probably the best time to drink
I
coffee.
bet.
We would go there. We played golf for like 4 or 5 days, and it'd be various temperatures. It was like we went in like May or something like that, and it was relatively cold for that time of year out
Yeah,
there.
oh yeah.
And we were playing on the coasts of Southern Ireland, and I just remember after every round we just went to some coffee shop and we would just get cappuccinos and Baileys, and then you go back to the hotel, get changed for dinner. This is the best types of coffee. I didn't know this was gonna become a coffee pod.
Well, I didn't either, but we're here.
We're here.
Mike, I will say this. One of the funniest things about the two of us is I am very Irish, and I think if I went to Ireland, I'd never come back. And you've been there, and I haven't. And I've been to Italy. And, Mike, you're very Italian.
Dude,
go
figure.
You've never been to Italy. Like, that's like such a weird little thing about the two of us. Like, and Mike, they would sit in cappuccino shops in Europe. That's a thing out there. Like, you get out of a round instead of going the 19th hole. No, we're gonna grab a coffee, put a little Baileys in it. You're not trying to get drunk. You're just trying to get off of all that workout you did doing the golfing, Mike.
I swear, dude, you go golf in a different country and then come back to America, you'll be like, holy shit. It was literally like it's playing golf, but it smacks you in the face. It like kicks you in the ass like harder than you'd expect.
Now, moving on from that, Mike, we got to talk about somebody in golf. What a great transition.
There you go. Do you want to finish what you were saying though? Was there a big?
No, my big conclusion is just like I just think it's very funny when people move in together. They're like, oh well, we're fighting because we're in a relationship and that's spilling into it. I was like, no, like you guys, you're roommates. Like you're now roommates together, and every couple are roommates. So like there are certain things that aren't couple related at all. They're just roommate things that kind of they're pet peeves.
Yeah, and it's life shit
some
too.
Some people hate the hair on the drain. Like some people like toilet seat up or down. I have opinions about the toilet seat up or down. Why the fuck are you not looking if the toilet seat is up or down? I look every time. Why is it now my responsibility to look up or down? If you fall in the toilet, I'm going to laugh and not feel bad for you at all. You're an adult. You know how a toilet works. You can figure it the fuck out. I will always, out of courtesy, try to put it down, but there are going to be days where I forget. And you know what? Well, you fucking figure it out. It's a toilet.
Right? Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm not reinventing the wheel here, Mike, all right? And I don't think that's a wild take or, any sex. No, like literally look down. I look down before I think, whatever. Number two, I look down. Like, they don't look down. They have to sit down every time. I feel like that's part of the thing.
Dude, it's the unwritten rules. Unwritten rules. If the worst thing that could happen though is anything to go wrong with your toilet, like that stinks. Like literally.
That's the worst. Man.
That's the worst. So we'll leave it at that. Because, but you can fix it depending.
For the listeners, I lived with a sister, and I would only just leave it up to mess with her. I'm like perpetually trained to put it down at this point. Like it's like Pablo's dog, like or whatever. Like salivating at the sound of a bell. Like as soon as I'm done, I put it down.
Trained.
And I lived in apartments with all guys, and we're always down. But also, figure it out. Look, turn the light on, pal. Like, listen, you can't. Come on, man. Like that's dumb. That's a dumb. Hair in the shower, fine. Like I get it. I'm gross and I didn't pick it up. That's fine. But fucking figure it out, right? Like,
exactly.
I'm out of it. Anyway, Mike, I wanted to talk about golf. Your boy Tiger, our boy.
Yeah, dude. Mr. Eldrick.
Why did they do that documentary, Mike? That was very upsetting. Watching that, it's kind of a slam piece, to be honest with you.
I don't know. It only hypes him up even more. I think. I think Tiger is just like he's like a super celebrity at this point.
He's one of the most famous people in the world. Like people across countries know who Tiger Woods is. don't know a lot about America. Everybody knows who Tiger Woods is. First of all, great name for recognition, by the way. People forget about that. Tiger Woods. Everybody can get that. Like, Tiger. Okay, he goes. It's awesome. It's very, very good. But my 5th back surgery.
Man, I mean, for absurd, dude. Based off the stuff from the documentary, all the stuff that we've heard over the years, he's done a lot with that lower back, and not just golf. So I would imagine that that's going to take a toll when you have 5 back surgeries, and it's just going to come with little maintenance things. Like, I'm not. It doesn't worry me him getting the surgery. It only concerns me.
Like, low key, one of the funniest things I ever read with that whole thing where he crashed into his mailbox and everything, when he was going through his down spiral, was that his wife came out and tried to beat him with his own golf clubs.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
Which is again.
I remember that video, dude.
If I'm the cop at that scene though, and I hear the story on both sides, I'm laughing. That's karma. It's wonderful, beautiful karma. She didn't get anything. Maybe she got a couple hits in, everything got broken up, it was fine. But you can't charge her with anything because she, you know what I mean? That's karma. She beat him with his own golf clubs. He's a professional golfer.
Yeah, dude.
That's funny as fuck.
And them shits ain't cheap. And the best part is, at that point in time, those clubs, those clubs, I swear to you, were really high rated clubs. Those had the Tiger Woods logo on them, probably. It had his I remember that because he has Tiger Woods clubs now with TaylorMade, and I remember around that time with Nike, they had the pro, they had the pro combo set, and then they had the blades, and then they had the same blades, but it was just Tiger Woods with a little different milling. It was really cool. It was really cool. So the fact that she beat him with those clubs, it's hilarious.
Well, he drove into the fucking mailbox. I'm coming out with clubs, Mike. You know what I mean? That's it. But also just the irony of being beat with your own clubs with your own name on it because you were drunk and cheating, drove into your mailbox. That's hysterical. If I was, again, I've been watching a lot of The Wire lately, Mike. So if I'm the cop on scene, I'm just laughing and walking away. I'm this is too much. This is too much, perfect irony, perfect justice. I felt like justice was served just that.
Do you think Woods was smashing chicks with Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley in Vegas?
I think Tiger Woods has been one of the low-key undercover biggest playboys, if you will, in the entire world. And the fact that he kept it under so long when he was at the peak of his, fame in the early 2000s is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
If he had Twitter and Instagram and all the shit right now, all the social media,
never would have happened.
Never would have. Well, he would have been canceled. Done. That divorce would have happened way earlier before he crashed.
2000 to 2009 or 2000 and 2013 or whatever. What a time.
And again, I'm not justifying anything. I don't know much about it, but I do know, Mike, there is something that you and I will never understand. Well, again, unless people subscribe to this podcast.
Facts.
That level of fame, that level of worldwide recognition. Forget America, worldwide recognition. Where you walk in a room and everybody knows your name, regardless of where. You could take a plane anywhere, Mike. You land, you say, "Hey, I'm Tiger Woods." Before you even say that, they go, "I know what that is. That's Tiger Woods." You know what I mean? That's a level of fame very few people achieve. So I don't know what kind of pressure that is. So I'm not going to judge him on that. Do I think he should have been faithful to his wife? For sure. Make that vow if you're not going to. And I'm not blaming either of them. She was also a model too. So she knows that level of fame.
Well, yeah, but also though, Tiger had some. It seemed like he had some skellies in his closet with all these
Oh, he absolutely does.
with all these affairs that he was having too, because it seemed like he was doing like different shit with some of the people that he had like more intimate relationships. But hmm.
Like, imagine if you just had unlimited money and you were the best in your sport, and that's televised all the time.
Listen to this. This is a quote. Tiffany Masters, former VIP host in Vegas. Quote is, "We catered to Tiger. We spoiled him, treated him like a prince, which included introducing Woods to many women." So,
oh my god, that sounds like Sultan shit. You know what I mean? Like from Genghis Khan.
Yeah, like he's like the Prince of Persia. You know, he's coming in.
Yeah, Jesus.
Fucking shit up, dude.
Oh, by the way, what a franchise they tried to start. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. I figured there would be like 6 more. They only made 1. It flopped hard.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, that flopped hard.
Yeah, I mean they tried, dude. It was, you know, that it's for a game to be that popular for them to make a big budget movie about it. I guess is, you know, I would chalk that up as a win for them.
I kind of hope they don't do Assassin's Creed into a movie. I know they're trying to do it right
again.
Now. They may be doing it. Yeah, they're trying to do it now, like again, like right or something. And I, you know, it's a great, you know, it's like trying to make GTA into a movie. Like, leave it alone.
Go play the game.
Yeah, it's great.
Go play the game.
You know,
they're gonna make Peaky Blinders into a movie.
Well, that was what I was kind of going to get to. Is have you watched Peaky Blinders?
Not the whole thing.
Okay, Mike, but you have watched a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is that not the most program you have to have subtitles on to understand what the hell they're saying?
I will say no, because recently watched a movie where it's hilarious, to be honest with you, because it's the movie Legend with Tom Hardy, and he plays 2 dudes. He plays like twin brothers.
Oh, right. Okay, I remember this movie.
But he legitimately looks like 2 different people, like legitimately, and it's great film. But one of the twin brothers, you cannot understand him for anything. So that would be my nomination.
Mike, is this the Prestige that we used to watch in your basement with Hugh Jackman and also Tom Hardy and Christian Bale and everything? Like, Tom Hardy played the 2 twins, remember?
That's true. Yeah, Tom Hardy's a G.
Oh, it's awesome, man. But I'm wondering, you know, like, there are certain programs you have to watch with subtitles, and Peaky Blinders is one of those for me. Is my point.
Okay.
Have to. And I'm also team subtitles, by the way. I always have them on.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I feel like I'm you know, because I'm either on my phone and watching TV, but what if I'm just reading and watching, right? Like instead of on my phone. That's my argument. It's like, all right, well, you can be watching TV on your phone. Isn't it the same shit as reading and watching? You're distracted on both angles.
I mean,
are you a subtitles guy, Mike?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I feel like most things have subtitles with it, but like I don't mind if it's on if I'm somewhere where like if they're a subtitle household, but like if I'm not gonna say that I'm a subtitle always person, but like if like if you're like, hey, can you throw the subtitles on? I'll be like, okay, yeah, sure, I got you. I'm not gonna thwart that from your entertainment experience.
See, so I will be that person. Like, I'll go as far as say to people, not random people, but my friends, I'll be like, hey, can you throw the subtitles on? I can't understand. Like, Game of Thrones is a big one to me because they mumble a lot. And the sound
yeah. I hate that. I hate that. I can't. I can't. I'm with you with that. Like, I don't want to put my volume up and it just be wicked loud, unnecessary. That I don't need, and then I turn it down, and then that's when they talk, and I can't hear them, and it's just it feels like that goes on sometimes. So I'm with you on some of that sort of thing when it comes to the subtitles.
Well, speaking on that sort of thing, like about the volume, I'm glad you brought it up. I got an impromptu top 3. Okay.
Okay.
What is the loudest show that you're watching, say on Netflix, right? And they're talking normal volume, but the theme song or the music is so loud above the volume, like it's such a disparity. And I'll give an example that we both can't use. All right, is The Office. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
If you watch it, it's just they don't scream like that, but then it's the piano is so loud on Netflix. You know, like everybody knows it. Like it's like ESPN with the
Well,
Sports Center.
it's so you fall asleep, it wakes you back up.
That's what I'm talking about, Mike. That's what I mean. I'm glad you said that. So, Mike, obviously, The Office might be the biggest offender. But do you have an impromptu prop 3? I got one that could start at number 3 for you.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Parks and Rec.
Ah, man, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Nobody knows what a trumpet sounds like unless you watch Parks and Rec. I mean, like nobody's been around trumpets in their life. Like, you know, unless you're in the band. Like, it's just not a thing. And then when it comes on, you're like, what the fuck is going on? You know?
That's true.
And I think that's a tough one. And especially the way that Netflix doesn't adjust the volume. That kind of pisses me off. But Mike, do you got one you can think of off the top of your head here?
Yeah, I feel like I'll put How I Met Your Mother at number 3. I feel like that was one of those loud ones. You know, similar.
It's a piano, Mike. Right?
You know,
like,
it wakes you up. Yeah, they go through the picture collage. Yeah, yeah, that's one.
That's too much. You're right, Mike. That's a great one. That's too much. I would say the next one that I got is Always Sunny is number 2. Because of that. And they're always screaming in the show, but it's still louder on the intro than the screaming they do throughout the show.
Interesting.
Which is crazy. So that's my number 2. What do you got for? Do you got a number 2?
Yeah, number 2. Number 2, we're gonna go with The Simpsons. Number 2, I feel like there's a part like in the Simpsons intro, great intro. Bart writes something different on the blackboard every single time. But I think there's a part in there where there's like a whistle when Homer gets out of work, and that if the volume's too loud, you know, that might get you.
Goddamn right there is, Mike. What a fucking pull from you right there. I mean, I forgot about the whistle when he gets out of work and he drops his hat. Oh my god, Mike, what a pull.
Diving.
You and I used to buy DVDs for the Simpsons seasons and watch them. That's a whole other story. Now, Mike, I got the undisputed number 1, the most annoying, Family Guy. It's a song, it's loud, and it's not well set up. And if you have it on Hulu and you don't have the premium one, it goes right into a commercial that's way louder than what they've been doing. So like now you got about, you know, a good 5 to 7 minutes, Mike, while you're trying to fall asleep to a show that is just loud as shit. So Family Guy is my number 1 offender.
Okay. I don't think this is a bad show or anything, but I would put SpongeBob number 1. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that guy comes in like are you ready, kids? And everyone's going like that. Like,
man.
imagine you fell asleep on that one, and the episode ended like you just dozed off, and then another one fires up, and it's just like, boom.
Mike, permission to make a verbal meme like they do on Part of My Team. I'm LeBron and you're Dwayne Wade with the jump with the ball in your hand because you just dunked all over me right there. That has to be the worst. Like, there's no other way that's not the worst.
It's great, but it's definitely loud.
It's wonderful, Dad. It's a wonderful show there.
That's right. I'm your father. My takes are so good.
Your daddy. You just don't.
No, I like the LeBron Wade thing.
Mike, that is number 1. You're right.
No. It's all fun. It's all fun. I was literally racking my brain. I was like, do I even have three? But I got there.
So, Mike, I'll tell you what, and this was an impromptu one for the listeners. Like, I swear to God, we did not prompt this. I just threw this on Mike, and Mike came in with the coldest of takes. Mike,
That's what we do. That's what we do. That's why.
Before we take a break, where do they find us?
That's what I mean. Coldest of Takes is available everywhere podcasts are found. Like and subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and listen. Coldest of Takes, baby. It's worldwide, like Pitbull.
And we'll see you on Mr. Worldwide, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.
That's right, baby. Peace. That's mad funny. All right, so John might have a bathroom. I don't know. I really. All right, so John, I guess really like my SpongeBob analogy. Is a pretty impromptu, question by him. I didn't, we don't really prep anything. We're gonna talk sports. We're gonna talk about random stuff, movies, TV. We're gonna, life. We're talk about stuff that we know. Try to have fun, put a positive spin on things. That's what we do. And I don't know. I guess John is really loving that answer, and I think he's probably going to the bathroom a little right now. We'll get it going. But yeah, we're grinding out here. We got some championship game action. Yeah, we're gonna check out the fan duel lands for the weekend here. Let's see what's good. Oh my Jesus, Louises. When like you be on a Google page and then like some drop down bar. Like what are we doing here? I don't want daily fantasy. I want the odds, bro. All righty. What do we got here? Sometimes I feel lucky to be recording the pod. And John, we usually do a little break, but sometimes I think my computer might explode. But it's pretty much a tank. It's a beast. I can't lie. Refill up my Dr. Pepper here. All right, well, I guess we're gonna get some putts in. And he's putting. Yeah. We're almost ready here. Almost ready. Hanging putts. Gotta go form here. Bang. People don't know this golf ball right here actually says Tiger. From 2029 Open Championship golf ball. I remember I was golfing, and I think I used this golf ball from 2000, like on the real course, and then I stopped. I was like, "What the heck are we doing?" All right, so I'm gonna send the next link. All right, we're gonna get back to it. Coldest of Takes available everywhere. Like, subscribe. John, my guy, we are back on the Coldest of Takes.
That's right.
Part two. What do we got to get into here? I feel like we span everything here on this podcast. This podcast doesn't hold anything back. That's why you can find us wherever podcasts can be found. That's Apple, Spotify, you name it, you find it. You Google search it, you'll find it. Coldest of Takes. Like, subscribe.
That's right.
That's right.
Now, Mike, I got a question for you.
What's good?
And I know how much you love it, but we got to get into before we get to the NFL, because that'll be our ending. We got to get into this league, Mike.
All right.
This league. I need your thoughts on Harden
And Kyrie?
to Kyrie to Brooklyn. Mike, you care about that more. I'm gonna burn my Kyrie. I still have my Kyrie.
Did you see what Colin Sexton did?
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Against them.
Unreal.
But Mike, do you think it's gonna work? What do you think about the Harden trade? What do you think about Kyrie? I need all your thoughts. Mike, go rant on me for a little bit here.
All right. So Kyrie, man, I don't know if you saw his interview where he was literally just like had his head down, like he was like a second grader or something on the desk. And aside from that, I kind of felt what he had to say. I do kind of agree with sort of kind of how he felt about being perceived differently than how he might actually be. But I mean, he did say that the Earth was flat, and
right. Did weird shit, dude. Like, yeah.
He walked it back for sure. But I do think he's very in his own way, he's very himself and everything. And I think as long as he's confident in himself and as long as his teammates believe in him, then he doesn't have anything to worry about. Like the media is just like a convoluted like party of journalists like just trying to get the best headlines, trying to make the best story. And so if it's gonna get more clicks to say Kyrie's a weirdo, it might be, but I think Kyrie's a really creative dude, and I'm not gonna say anything bad about him, personally, but I do think the way he handled the Celtics situation was kind of bonds. I just think like that's what happens now with superstars, man. Like if they want out in a particular situation, if they don't see it working out, it just goes down the tubes like really fast. I think Harden and Kyrie and KD, I think they're gonna gel. You know, I think eventually it'll work. I think it makes life tough on LeBron. There was this great video that came out of it was fake obviously, but it's like LeBron reacting to the news of Kyrie going to the Nets.
Yes.
It's just
that was very, very funny.
so funny, and I feel like it was somewhat accurate, but I don't know. I think that Nets team it's gonna be fun, but I mean that's what you got to do to win in the NBA. I think we've seen that.
Now, Mike, I got opinions about this.
Yeah, how do you feel? Do you feel super different?
Yeah, I hate Kyrie. I think he loves to pretend like he's going to say what he feels, and he does it for shock value so people get off of his injuries and the fact that he doesn't play well and he plays when he wants to, so he says some outrageous shit just so the media gets off him. And then he pretends like he's the victim of the media perceiving him. And I'm like, dude, nobody told you to say that flat Earth was real.
Bro.
Nobody told him, like, to put the sage over the garden and be fucking. Maybe he's just a weird guy, but embrace it. He's not confident. I think he's actually one of the most insecure people I've ever seen in superstars. And he's a superstar, Mike. I'm not denying his talent.
Yeah,
I wanted him to work out in Boston.
Disgusting.
I love fucking Jersey. He's amazing.
But the thing is, it's like the reason why I think they'll be good. Like, yeah, sure, whatever you're saying, it definitely has merit. But the reason why I think they're going to be good is because it's going to be like Kyrie is going to be the assassin type. He's got the handles, but he can score at will. And we have already seen Durant and Harden be more facilitators, more facilitator.
Yeah.
And Kyrie's stat sheet predominantly is I'm gonna score 38 points and that's it.
Except when he was with LeBron, which is crazy because you're with Kevin Durant, arguably 1A and 1B for best player in the world, LeBron and Kevin Durant, I would say. You could throw AD in there, and I'm fine with that. But you know what I mean? So now you're the facility. He's not even. Harden is going to be the point guard, Mike. which is a banana lands to me that whole the point guard and give up the ball and not shoot.
Well, yeah, that's what
Like,
and
it's crazy.
that's what I'm alluding to. Like I think Harden has the most potential in that team. The way it's set up, like for him to be the scoring leader, take the most shots, be in the offense that Houston was in, to now doing what he's doing. Like, I think you're gonna see Harden like evolve like more. It's cool. Like basketball is cool, man. It's every year. It's like who's gonna try to take on LeBron next?
Like, ending very big trade for the Celtics.
Who?
I'm saying pending a very big trade for the Celtics.
It's gonna be tough if the Celtics don't.
They're not going to beat Brooklyn, and you know what, Mike? They might not beat Philly anymore. Philly might have come on now.
Well,
Embiid kicked the shit out of them in the middle yesterday. Like, kicked the shit out of them. Unless they can score at will, and they have the players. Tatum was out, so that's fine.
Right,
but
and
Brown, Smart, Kemba, you guys got to step up at that point. Your best player's out. You got to step up. And Tice played a great game. I gotta say, I gotta shout out Tice.
Yeah, he's been showing out ever since I thought he was gonna get traded. Ever since I thought he was gonna get traded, he's been showing out. So
I gotta give him his shouts, Mike. He played a goddamn good game against guys superior athlete than him.
Oh.
He played hard.
That's what he does.
So that's good, but you can't have Tristan Thompson. You can't have Tice on. You need a center. You need somebody down or a power forward who can block him in the middle, play your 5 when you need to. The Celtics need to make a big trade at the deadline if they can.
I think they will.
If they want to compete. Well, Mike, if they're going to beat Philly and if they're going to beat Giannis and then if they're going to beat Brooklyn, they have to get somebody because now they're the 4th team in the East.
Yeah, dude. And when Jimmy Butler comes back, they might even be the 5th team.
Yeah, that's right. Or drop to the 6th.
Like
playing well, Mike.
Yeah, Magic plays well. Toronto's tough. Like the Celtics and Toronto, very kind of similar. Ibaka got in Toronto, that kind of stinks. But like, dude, right now the way the East is set up, the Celtics can still be viable. I still think there's a lot of progression that can happen. But yeah, dude, you're kind of right. I mean, the Celtics have to take some sort of step, but also, Jimmy Butler, he could come back and, it could take him some time. Like, I think it's smart what the NBA is doing. Like, how Jason Tatum, didn't play the other night. And, it's just, protocol. It's just health and safety and certain things like that. So, I don't want to rule. I would never rule the Celtics out to compete when they have all 5 guys, playing on a high level. So,
Well, Mike, I'm not saying that they're going to be out, but they're going to give every team a 6 to 7 game series. But I don't know in the 7th game if a guy like Embiid decides to dominate.
Nah, don't get sold into the Sixers, bro. Don't get sold into the Sixers. As much as I love the Eagles, the Eagles, I'm not all Philly sports here, and I will tell you.
I know, but they're gonna fall apart. The 76ers love to fall apart, and that's fine. But the Celtics were exposed last night. They were exposed for their biggest weakness and in a high-scoring game. So you can't really blame it on it was a good defensive game. It was not.
Right. Until Ben Simmons shoots more, I'm not going to be worried about. Until he shoots more and makes the shots, I'm not going to be worried about the Sixers.
Why would he have to? Why would he have to when he has
Embiid? Right. I mean, you're saying that. Yep. I mean, you're right. I mean, but the Embiid thing, as much as you're saying, it takes a guy like Embiid to win, he hasn't been in the finals, bro. He hasn't been there. It's
because he beating the Celtics, yeah. But I'm just saying, the Celtics are flawed and they're very small, and I don't know what they do. They have the draft, they have money, and that's fine. But who do you get, Mike? Who would you get for the Celtics in the middle, power forward, center? Who'd you get? I got one name that I'm going to float out there, or 2 names actually. But go ahead.
I don't know. You need like a Bam type, and I don't know who that is. But you got Williams. We got a lot of depth that we can trade. We got a lot of depth that we can trade potentially. But so who do you think?
Blake Griffin, healthy.
Yeah, I
Healthy
mean
being the key word.
he wants to get out of Detroit.
Right. And I'm not saying he has to play all the minutes, Mike. Tice will still be the center, but like your backup is Blake Griffin. Like you're not going to suffer.
Who are we giving up? Who are we giving up?
Anyone for that. Anyone who's on the bench, not named Marcus Smart.
So we're giving them Semi and Rob Williams and maybe even
for Blake Griffin, you might be able to give him like Semi in a second round, and you'd be fine. And I think a second round might be even too high if you're going to give him Semi and some guy from Maine at that point.
Well,
his buy value is not high right now.
Well, I think something happened with Semi. Is Semi injured right now?
Well, I don't think Semi's very good anyway. I'd be more upset if we give up Time Lord than Semi, but that's just me. Also, Teague has not been very good. And Tris Thompson's been very good at defense. He's an absolute liability on offense.
Well, they brought Tristan Thompson in, so I don't think they're going to ship him out. I don't think they're going to ship Teague out. I think we're stuck with those two guys.
Unfortunately, yes. So you got to get rid of Time Lord, get Blake Griffin in there, get the rotation going like that. Put Blake Griffin, Tice in at the same time. We need some presence down below, Mike, because we have nothing. And not even to get out of the Eastern Conference, it's just the West is so tall. Like they're so big in the middle still. And you cannot go into the finals against the Laker with Tease and, Taco. And
well, yeah, dude. I mean, when we got our guys, they're making a case. Like, I don't necessarily want them to trade these dudes because, like, I kind of like them, but I don't know. I mean, something has to happen with this team. Like, I feel like it's going to be a similar story to last.
But the thing, Mike, is that either a trade away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals or a trade away from losing in the first round. So either if they don't make a trade, they'll lose in the first round,
right?
Maybe second round.
No,
if they make a trade, they'll be in the conference finals.
But so even the trade that they make, though, it could be the wrong trade, and they'll still be bounced in the first round because we somehow get weaker when they think we're going to get stronger or something.
Mike, I understand your concerns, but have you heard of Trader Danny? All right? Danny Ainge, I'm putting my faith in him like he's Santa Claus. He comes down the chimney and he makes shit happen, all right? I believe that if we get the good one, Danny's got to pull the trigger. But he's got to pull the trigger, Mike, because we're in a window. I mean, we're not really in a window, but we're up and coming, and we saw what the Heat did last year. Like, we can make it to the final. We've been there 3 out of the last 4 years, Mike, and we still haven't won.
Bro, I just don't want to be in a situation where it's like when JJ Watt is going up to Deshaun's like, I'm sorry, we keep wasting your years. And like, it's not like JJ Watt's like won a Super Bowl or anything, but like for a guy like,
defensive player of the year,
we're and what his career is going 8-8 the whole time. But I remember when he said that to Deshaun when they picked that up, I don't want like a similar situation for that to happen with like Jason Tatum.
And Kemba and Marcus Smart are being like, dude, we wasted you. My bad. And Jaylen Brown's walking off too as well. Like those two, like I would hate that. You're right, Mike. You're right. But we gotta talk about Deshaun Watson. Moving topics here.
Oh yeah, let's do it. What's up? Mike, where do you think he lands? What do you think?
I have an idea. Okay. Now hear me out on this. Wentz goes to who was the coordinator who already knows? Was it the Jets or the Lions? I can't remember. It was the Jets, right? It was the Jets who, like, their new coach was a guy who worked with Wentz, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't hear that one.
All right. Point being is Wentz has to move out of Philly. Now, look Deshaun Watson in Philly. Ooh.
I mean that would be exciting.
Now, if you went straight up between Philly and Texans, Texans have way more leverage, obviously, than that. But Texans get like 2 first-round picks and Sean, but you also get Carson Wentz back in your trade contract. So maybe the Philly has to give up a couple of more, but I would mortgage shit for Deshaun Watson right now. I'm the Patriots, Mike, and I'm not even in the conversation. And we have the most capital.
Well, I saw some.
We have nothing to give them.
I saw some graphic where the Patriots are the 6th best team to get Deshaun Watson.
I would have thought that. I would have better on wide receivers. But I'm sick of this one. We don't have. We're the 6th best team. That's great. That's wonderful. We need to be the leader, and that's not Belichick's style. Do that. So we're gonna have to draft from within. That's how we've always done. That was what we had with Bledsoe. He was the number 1 pick. I mean, and then Brady, we got lucky with, man. Like, we don't draft quarterbacks. We're going to have to trade, and that's not Belichick's style. Now, the only thing I've heard about it is that he sucks in the first round, Belichick at drafting. Like, he's not very good at it, i.e. N'Keal Harry. What the fuck are you doing? Every time I see DJ Metcalf, I get upset because he's amazing and wonderful, and we passed on him.
Yeah, but also, though, he kind of had a hand in them losing that playoff game.
Who?
DK. You know, they pretty much forced the ball to him when he wasn't open.
Which is horseshit because Tyler Lockett was so good in fantasy all year. I don't know why he
That's what I mean. Don't you remember, like, DK, he was, getting mad on the sideline?
Yeah, but he caught like a 60-yard touchdown pass after he was bitching.
That's true. That is true.
And he clearly got open too. So, but I think the Eagles and the Patriots are actually in a very similar situation. Who's your quarterback? We know who our coach is, but is Josh McDaniels going to leave? Who's our offensive coordinator? What is the offense going to look like now that Brady's gone? So there's a lot of questions on both ends.
A lot of questions. We got Sirianni in there. We don't know if they're going to hire Deuce. You know, we got.
What do we think about Sirianni?
You know, he's an first Italian American head coach.
He likes to gobble.
You know, he looks like
the spice of the meatballs.
The way I first saw it with them getting Sirianni, it's like they wanted to make Frank Reich the head coach of the Eagles, but somehow they didn't. You know what I mean? And now, they're backtracking some sort of way because they fired Doug, and they're like, all right, we got to get our Frank Reich guy, and they go with Sirianni. What I didn't really take into account is how good the Colts offense actually really was. You know, I don't think.
Yes.
You know, I think Philip Rivers is a good quarterback. Do I think he's spectacular? No.
Is he a Hall of Famer, Mike?
Yeah, 100% Hall of Famer.
Okay. Now, I got a better question for you. Who goes in the Hall of Fame first, him or Matt Stafford?
Dude, I think,
at the end of their career, Matt Stafford's still 32, 33. But
Stafford's a beast. But I think Rivers you know, to have the 5th most yards, Philip Rivers, I didn't expect that. For him to make it to the playoffs so many times and lose, that's pretty spectacular as well. I mean, getting the playoffs is hard, and then we have a guy like Tom Brady who throws for more yards in the playoffs since he was 37. By the way, he's 42, 43 now. And 43, yes, 43. And he's thrown for more yards in the playoffs at 43 than Peyton Manning. Or not Peyton Manning.
In 6 years, he has a record. In 6 years, from 37 to 43, he has all of the stats over everybody else.
Right. It's Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Breeze, and stuff. The only one that has more yards is Peyton Manning. But Peyton Manning also has twice as much.
9 one and dones, Mike.
Yeah.
9 one and dones.
Yeah, twice as much losses.
How goddamn bad Peyton Manning was in the years. All right. Also, my favorite stat though about Tom Brady, just not to digress because I want to come back to the Eagles, but is that he has 8 wins over the NFC teams in the playoffs, and 6 of them are in the Super Bowl. I mean, and like that is the most cocky stat you could ever have.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. How many Super Bowls he's been in? But he's got number 10 on the line. To lose 3 to the NFC East, like that's crazy. There's a Twitter called @TV_facts. You learn things about Tom Brady.
Oh, I follow it because the stats are so ridiculous at this point because he's been waiting so long.
That is so ridiculous, dude. So ridiculous.
And that's so good, to be honest with you. Like obviously I'm a fan. I pump his tires because now I'm rooting for him instead of the Patriots. But I was always going to root for my team, and then I'm going to root for my favorite player of all time. You got to root for your team first. If your favorite player leaves, you got to root for your team. Like you got to have a man has to have a code. Omar.
Right.
The Wire. I get 2 Wire shout-outs in this podcast. Very excited about that.
Fantastic show. Speaking of The Wire, they had, this thing, it was called like the inauguration, the other day. And what came out of it basically was people absolutely loved Bernie Sanders and how he was looking, and he was memed all over the place.
So hard.
And there was memes of him where he's like chilling with the boys on The Wire, where he's chilling with Ice Cube, like you name it, Bernie Sanders is chilling. So shout out to that. And shout out to The Wire. Fantastic show.
And he was Bran in Game of Thrones at the end, which I thought was actually kind of funny.
Hilarious.
He's sitting down and they put him in a wheelchair, and I was like, that's actually kind of funny. But that was like a 24-hour meme that like everybody got tired of right away. Like it was very funny for about.
It served its purpose, It did its job.
I mean, he looked ridiculous. Let's just throw that out there. He looked ridiculous.
Okay.
He's also about 97 years old.
Here is the question. Okay. What do you want more? Okay, if you could acquire one of these 3 items from yesterday's inauguration, would you take A, Bernie Sanders mittens? Would you take B, Melania Trump's really weird dress from Gucci, or C, would you take Lady Gaga's dove with the olive branch giant gold brooch? What do we got?
All right, Mike, none of the above. I'm picking D. And the D is Kamala Harris's sister's husband, who came in with those Nikes.
With the J's. With the Jordan 1s.
Whatever those shoes were,
yeah.
That was the flyest motherfucker. That is a power.
Kamala Harris, our vice president. No, she's about that. I'm trying to get it right.
I suck at it.
But yeah, dude. The Jordan 1s, absolute fire. Seeing that on the grounds.
How cocky is that? That's like some Robert Kraft shit where he wears like his Patriots' own Air Force Ones. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at the inauguration of a president and I decide to rock some J's, bro, and then get on TV. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, that is a power move. And he's a guy who was not supposed to be above. He just got caught on camera. So he wasn't doing it for the show, is my point. Like,
so
he was just ready to go, man. Like, he's just a fly ass dude, man.
So that's the vice president's brother, you said?
Brother-in-law. I think it's her sister's husband, I believe. I may be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that.
I can almost probably guarantee that guy was one of those dudes when he was like 14 years old going to a dance wearing Air Force Ones or something like that.
Absolutely.
So that is the absolute progression. And that's living out the dream of every 14-year-old that went to the school dance with some Air Force Ones on.
Mike, if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. And this man just loves his Nike shoes. He cannot have enough Nike shoes on his feet. But I just thought that was the best thing.
Shout out to Mac Miller.
Good, right? Nike's on my feet. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Baby.
Mike, but I will say, I would go with anything over. I like the Lady Gaga shit. I like Bernie Sanders things for all multiple different reasons, but like anything over what the Trump's wearing, shit, they're out of here. I want to see new people. I want to see the guy in his kicks. This man's gonna be walking around the White House just in shorts and rocking Nikes, just giving salutes to the Secret Service as he goes and get some Honey Nut Cheerios or something. Like, this guy might be just be in there for a weekend. Hey, treating it like a vacation. Just rocking his Nikes, man. He cannot have enough Nikes. I love that guy.
It was awesome.
That's just so ridiculous. And that's the kind of stuff I look for in politics. Not Bernie Sanders sitting there and, again, it was very funny. He looked like an old ass dude. But, no, I want the guy who's walking on the capital of our country's steps. Although it's kind of not as great now. But saying that he's just walking in an inauguration with some fucking Nikes in a suit, man.
I know,
they
dude.
Go together. Mike, are we changing fashion?
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was weird though because it was It was like live on
Right.
YouTube and TV and stuff like all day long. It was quite the thing. It was quite the thing. It's always like that, but it seems like people were paying attention more. I think to this one, and it was something to watch.
Which we all should, and I hope that people don't believe that this is the end of everything that's been happening during the pandemic. I hope that everybody decides that they're going to keep up their fight for equality and things. I don't think that there's one answer when you get a new president. I think you have to keep up your policies and make sure that you push for what you believe in. And everybody can believe in whatever the hell they want. I don't give a shit.
The woman.
I believe in Nikes. I believe in Nikes on suits. On the Capitol. That's what I believe in. Like, I will die on that hill with him in my Nikes.
That's right. Did you see any footage of the woman who made like the Shakespearean like poem called
I saw her. I didn't know anything about her.
The Hill and everything like that. What a spectacular piece of writing. I suggest to you and all the listeners to look that up, download it, print it out, read it, and look at it every day because you'll get something out of it. I thought it was very profound, and I thought what that person said carried a lot of weight. It carried as much weight as that old heavy ass Bible that they swear the president in on.
I want to get to that in a second, but Mike, I want to tell the people. Educate yourself, man. Listen to some poetry. Read some poetry, all right? They are smarter people than you because they've been published. So read the words, all right? You don't have to agree, but read it, all right? Everybody knows Shakespeare. It's great, right? He was a poet. He was a writer. Edgar Allan Poe was a poet, all right? Everybody likes him, apparently. Emily Dickinson. Read that shit. You don't have to agree. But read it, man, before you form an opinion. And I thought hers was eloquently said. She's a tremendous public speaker. That was my favorite thing about Obama, by the way, was he was the best public speaker I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
he controlled an audience.
Oh, man.
But
such
anyway,
class.
Getting off of that, though, Mike, I gotta tell you. They cancel PGA events at Trump shit as courses now.
Oh, well, they done that for a little while.
I know they did that before, but before the last time we podcast, I think they did that, and I was like, God damn it! Like, who had a bigger fall from grace than this motherfucker? Even George Bush is smiling in there and waving, and Clinton, who got a blowjob in the Oval Office, is walking around there with his wife, who was nominated for president against that other asshole. And Clinton just gets a pass. He's walking around there smiling like he's just a nice old boy from Arkansas, Nobody gives a shit.
Got caught up under the desk.
Unbelievable, though, how bad you have to be where everybody else is thinking, what the fuck?
I mean, to divide the country and to do all this stuff is pretty crazy. So,
we're over that. I just want the people to remember that we all started something here in the social justice movement, and I don't believe that we should stop. Jalen Brown said that the other day, which is why I was thinking about it.
Yeah, bro. It takes all of us, man. Compassion, positivity, energy. Well, I'm not here to shit on people. I'm not here to turn the other cheek. And I just
actually, Mike,
yeah,
I'm here to celebrate
that's
because
right.
overshown out of all of that, Mike, and unfortunately, the way that it's broadcast is we have the first woman vice president in our country's history. That should be celebrated, bro. That's fucking huge, man. Regardless of whether you agree with her or disagree with her or not, the actual idea of having that wasn't even
It's incredible.
possible less than 100 years ago. Like less than 100 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's incredible. It's amazing.
Mike, I come from California, all right, and people are very favorable about her in California for a lot of reasons I'm not going to get into. But the point being, Mike, is we have our first woman vice president, and I hate that the Trump-Biden thing was the, and the assault on the Capitol and all that shit, terrorist act, to be honest with you, on the Capitol is the main story when we should be celebrating the fact that a woman, regardless of color or anything, a woman, first of all, is now the vice president. I think that's fucking awesome. And I think people should remember that. If you have family members, if you have a mother, I think everybody has a mother. It's a big time for women, and I'm very excited that this is going to be a thing going forward, and I hope it is. I really do. So I just wanted to point that out, Mike. Regardless of how you politically feel, you should be excited that
I personally
one of the most powerful positions in the country.
Yeah, I personally think she is very level-headed given her position, where she's come from and everything. And I think, you know, we as a country are fortunate to have a person like her in a position of power to help our nation, come back and flourish out of these pandemic times and out of these weird times in our nation. I think is great. I really do. I'm excited.
And I think it's wonderful that we do have that kind of difference in opinion. Between because Biden and her politics actually don't really align very well. If you look at it very deeply, but I like that though. I want my VP to check the president, man, and be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's what it's supposed to be. That's
Isn't that crazy?
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. Like we've been riding around in clown cars and the world has gone to mush. Our country has gone to mush. They make things out to be like ridiculous, and now things are gonna get back with some order and some, and we're gonna kick ass.
Push it though, Mike. We have to push it though. I don't want people to stop. I want more movements. I want more Black Lives Matter. I want all that shit because we need to make aware, even at the local level. We're a big ass nation. So Biden isn't just the answer. It's a great move for our country, but it's not the answer fully.
Yeah, dude. This doesn't solve it. Yeah, Jalen Brown said it right.
Hit it on the head, and my man has been on the forefront of that. Which I appreciate from a very young guy, and especially in the city of Boston, which is very historically racist, that he is on the forefront about this movement. I really love that about that. But anyway, that's the last thing I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more though about Jalen Brown and the fact that Boston is that place, because if anybody, Brown has the capability to really help out Massachusetts. He really does.
Make some goddamn change. And I think that Jalen Brown is great. He's well spoken, Mike.
He's the man.
He's very passionate, but he's not over passionate. And he's well spoken.
He's smart, man.
He's and he's a good guys around him. That's why I was very upset when people said that. But anyway, Mike, we got to get to the biggest issue here. Well, not the biggest issue. But the biggest issue that I'm thinking about right now, this very second, is we got to move on to the conference finals.
Yeah, let's hit these games, wrap it up for the night,
Get out of here.
and put a ball in this thing. Yeah, it's huge, dude. Huge weekend. I didn't expect this, to be honest with you. I think the NFL, with everything that happened with COVID and this season, these teams are really good. I feel like these are the teams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the ones in the conference finals are very good.
Very good.
First time in a while. Mike, we gotta start. Let's start backwards, okay?
Okay.
So let's start with the 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday. The Bills are playing in Arrowhead Stadium against the Chiefs with a banged-up Patrick Mahomes. Not only concussion, he's got turf toe as well. Mike, do you know the line? Can you hit me with the line?
We got Bills +3.
Yes.
Over
And
under 53.5.
Mike, I'm going to give mine first, and I want you to keep going on that.
All right. Well, first of all, the team that I think is going to win the game is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Who do you think wins the game? Not Bills. Okay. All right.
Bills.
So with this,
I'm taking Bills money line on this game.
Bills money line.
Straight up, Mike.
I mean, the
minus
money's
3 plus 3 doesn't matter. Like, okay, so we go back to the well, I'm taking them straight up then. Anything like 3 or under, I'm taking straight up the team I think is gonna win.
Yeah, dude. Go with the Bill. Dude, Bills could be dangerous in that stadium.
I got a theory though, and you're gonna follow me after this, but the Bills are gonna win this game, and everybody's gonna blame it on Mahomes being hurt or concussed or whatever.
What's the story with that? I'm assuming he's playing, so that's why I rolled.
Oh, he's absolutely gonna play. Like, there's no chance he doesn't play. I would actually be very surprised if he didn't play. And then actually, if he didn't play, I think they'd win. To be honest with you, because like there's built-in excuses here. Also, if he wasn't ready to play, I believe everybody in the NFL would say that everybody on the Chiefs has cold because they want this matchup in prime time, and if it can't happen, they're going to wait until Mahomes is ready to play. So Mahomes is going to play, all right? Because Roger Goodell's a scumbag.
Well, I'll tell you what though. I think the X factor in this game is Stephon Diggs, man. I think if the Chiefs aren't scheming to stop him, he's gonna torch this Chiefs team. I think Tyreek Hill very fast, Travis Kelce best tight end, sure. Mahomes unreal. Stephon Diggs week in week out, best offensive player on the field, best skill player on the field, not the quarterback.
I mean, it's Adams and Hopkins for best wide receiver, and every one of those is correct. Right.
Synonymous. I mean, all three of those dudes for sure.
Yeah, they're all correct. Like there's literally, you can argue all of them. Okay, I'm okay with every argument, and yeah, no, you're right. Now, like, do you see a big game coming from Brown or Beasley or their running back?
Well, Brown's got to step up. I mean, he's coming off an injury. He's played in the past couple of games and everything. But to me, if the Bills want to win, they got to run the ball. And the Bills haven't, Bills are more known for the passing attack and the Josh Allen plays and the gusto and the strong arm and everything. And getting, and their defense is very bend not break. So I can't see the Bills winning on the road unless they have a viable run defense. I mean, a run offense.
Yeah, to take possessions out of the Chiefs' hands, you have to do that. And I think the Bills' D is actually very opportunistic, more than Kansas City's is. I also think Kansas City is weak on defense, to be honest with you. I think that Tyrann Mathieu is very good, but they don't have the players in the middle that I think you can cut and run with them easily. And if it's not there, and that's Josh Allen's third option, then he's going to run the ball right over the middle and cut you like Lamar does. And I don't know. I'm like, I don't know, Jim.
Bills in the under. Bills in the under.
Oh, you like the under, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
I think points are at a premium right now.
Okay. You know what, Mike? 54 is a lot. I'm gonna go with the under on you, but you take the Chiefs, I'm taking the Bills. All right.
Well, yeah, that's fine for the pod, but I'm telling you, I think the smart play would take the Bills in the under. Because a lot of the points that you have highlighted make a lot of sense. But I do think I think Mahomes and Tyreek Hill are gonna outduel Allen and Hill and all those boys. I don't know. I'm gonna roll with Andy Reid.
Mike,
I got to. I got no choice.
I cannot fault you. Oh, another weird stat that we heard this week was the first team to host the AFC Championship game in 3 straight years. In the AFC, and it wasn't the Patriots, like ever. No, like the Chiefs are doing it for the first time ever, Mike.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
I thought the Patriots might have got like 3 in a row on their run, but they never did. I thought that was a very interesting stat. Like that's a random one that I'm like, oh shit, out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, no, you really think the Pats have every single record until something like that pops up.
Especially when it comes to like AFC Championship games and shit like that.
Right, when you're in 13 of them.
Yeah, and we'll get to that right now, Mike. NFC. So that's the new guard coming up is Patrick Mahomes and our boy Josh Allen. The old guard, Mike, Aaron Rodgers, now has to play Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game at home. Packers versus Bucks. Bucks to play for a chance for a home game in the Super Bowl with the greatest quarterback of all time, Mike. What are the stakes? Let's set the stage here. What are the stakes here? What do we got?
So Tom Brady basically, in order for Tom Brady to have the
line and spread first. Line and spread first, so everybody knows.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about those stakes. Okay, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, those stakes first, and then what you gotta say.
Bucks are +3, and the over/under is 51.5. But what I was gonna say is Tom Brady to get a home Super Bowl, which would be like the most ideal situation for him. Super Bowl, South Florida, home. It's your stadium, Buck Stadium, during the COVID times or whatever. So it's less capacity, all these things. I feel like it's ideal for Tom. But in order for him to get there, he has to go through the most unrealistic thing that he's been in a playoff situation since the Tuck Rule. I think he will have his work cut out for him on Sunday at 3:05 p.m. with the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. I think it will be a very tough matchup for him. I don't think they roll the Packers like they did on Monday night,
Man. Mike, you're right. It would be the most iconic playoff run ever. You beat Breeze, you beat Rodgers at home, and then
because Rodgers is going to be the MVP. There's no way he's not.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was also going to say. Not only are you beating Rodgers at home, you're beating the MVP of the league that year at home. That is ridiculous.
And you would crush his soul, basically.
Aaron Rodgers cannot play quarterback after
if
he loses to the Bucs, it's over.
He doesn't lose. That's why I don't think there's any way he loses this game. To me, this doesn't look like the Tom Brady game. Like unless they somehow scheme up the right things, the Packers are kind of weak on defense. I guess I don't know, but Tom Brady and Lambeau and the chill. I don't want to
forget about the weather now.
Yeah, he's not.
Brady can play in the weather.
No, he can't.
Mike, he had 5 touchdown passes in the first half in the snow.
When?
Against the Titans one year. Mike, he's playing
at home. At home, he hasn't.
Okay, he played on the road too.
I'm just saying. I think it's going to be tough for him to play in that type of environment. I really do. I think he's gonna have his work cut out for him. I don't think it's gonna be easy. I very much think that the Bucks can win the game, but I don't think it'll be easy. I think a lot whole rides on that defensive performance, and I think Tom's going to be going nuts on the sidelines. I think he's going to be going absolutely nuts. I guarantee he yells at the team, in his pep talks, where he yells at his team. I guarantee that happens more than once on Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. But Mike, because he has more talent on the receiving end, he's going to yell at his offensive line because they're not as good as the Patriots have always made their offensive line, so he can, cut through people and work. He has a worse run game than Aaron Rodgers, absolutely, and Aaron Rodgers has one of the aforementioned three that we just said of best receivers in the league. Adams, he's amazing.
Yeah, right. He didn't play 3 games or whatever, and he's an absolute stud. Adams, only person that has more catches than him is Stephon Diggs. And
Right.
They have solid offensive line and a solid running game. They have 3 running backs that are good. They kept Jones relatively fresh. Jones was the number 1, kept him relatively fresh, spelled him throughout the season with Jamal Williams. Then towards the end of the season, you bring on the rookie A.J. Dillon, get him into the mix. And then, boom, you got a 3-headed monster in the playoffs, a killer offensive line, you got killer Devontae Adams. You got, MVS, he's okay. I like Allen Lazard. Robert Tonyan is a beast somehow.
That's a tight end, right?
Yep.
Tonyan?
Yeah, Tonyan. You had him on your team.
Has been coming on,
right. So, to me, both of these offenses, very good, but the offensive line is going to get you the Super Bowl ring. And we saw that when the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. We see that, when the Patriots have won the Super Bowl in the past. And you bring up Bucks, weak offensive line, you question mark in the running game, playoff Lenny. I don't know, but I'm going Pack. I'm going with the Pack.
You're going with the Pack. Mike, great decision. Again, I respect the shit out of it because the Packers are very, very good. If Aaron Rodgers is going to win another Super Bowl, it's this year. It is absolutely this year.
Oh, shit.
And I love the fact that he's pissed off because they drafted Love and that's motivated him and whatever. I don't even care if that's a real reason. I just love that narrative. Being like, oh, you're going to draft another quarterback? I'm going to have an MVP season with the Super Bowl. I've always liked Aaron Rodgers. I just never liked the comparison to Brady because I was like, it's not even there yet, pal. It's just not even there yet. Win 3 or 2 at least. Win another one, and that's why Breeze is never going to be in that conversation, despite his, his yards and everything. And the fact that he's going to retire, and Rivers as well. It's a tough day. Ben's coming back, which is nice. We like that. We don't like Ben, but we like that. But the old guard, Mike, this is their final stand, though. Really, though, when you think about it,
yeah, Tom's got to get it done for the old guys.
Now, Mike. Side question on that. If Tom Brady wins and just gets to the Super Bowl, say he loses, because he has lost Super Bowls. He goes to a lot of them. So once in a while he loses.
If he makes it to this Super Bowl, he would make it to his 10th Super Bowl, meaning that he would make it to the Super Bowl half the time he was in the league. So half of the seasons, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
14 championship games. That's absurd. 8 wins, which ranks him 5th all time in NFC playoff wins, and he has only played the NFC 6 times in the Super Bowl. These stats are absurd.
Yeah, dude, he's 70% chance to be in the conference championship game.
So give me the
That's
GOAT
insane.
Conversation. More than when I say more than LeBron makes a free throw, and he gets fouled every single time he drives to the basket. Tom Brady is more likely, percentage-wise, to still get to the Super Bowl than LeBron is for making a shot that he's practiced every single
to get to the conference championship. Super Bowl would be half.
Conference championship. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Super Bowl would be half.
Thank you for correcting.
But yes, you are right. You were right.
That's absurd, Mike. Those are absurd stats, and they're already gone. But at this point, Mike, I gotta go with my guy. You know me.
Yeah.
I gotta go with my guy.
Got it.
It's Tom Brady. I can't, Mike. 20 years of wonderful. You know, it was just wonderful, Mike.
Good time.
We always.
Jules was reminiscing.
Dude, man, is there a sadder person in the world than Julian Edelman right now?
Nah.
Because he's probably about to retire because he's hurt, and he didn't get invited to the party in Tampa Bay.
I know, it stinks. He was supposed to take this year off and then go to Tampa Bay next year. And that's what he was, hoping Tom was going to say. And he posted that picture.
This year, he's done. He's done.
Oh, yeah, Jules might be gone. But, yeah, dude, that picture he throws up, and then it's 100% like, damn, I should have been there.
Now, I do have another, a couple of narratives they're going to give you, okay? So say, by the way, Bruins won. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
But another narrative, all right? So say the Bucks win, right? The Bucks win, they're going to Super Bowl at home. Mahomes beats Brady at home like the Super Bowl against the Rams, right? They beat Mahomes at home, right?
Right.
That's a good storyline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Rodgers wins. Rodgers says, no, Mahomes, I just had to play you once and wins. Very cocky, very cool, very good, Mike. I like that. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Now, the last one is a little, really upsetting to our Bills Mafia fans. It's the fact that they got over the hump, they won the division, and they did all that, and they get to the Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady, and Tom Brady beats them. I mean,
that's why you almost don't want to make the Super Bowl.
That might actually kill the Bills. That might kill the franchise. I mean, they've lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah, just when you thought you had Tom Brady off your back.
Right? Oh man. I mean, Mike, that kills me.
That would be fun.
I'll never get over the Giants. Every time the Patriots play the Giants from now on forever in life, I'll be like, we're gonna lose this game.
Yeah, at least the Giants kind of stink for a while.
But the point being is, Mike, the Bills may never recover from that. They'll still jump through tables. I love them very much, and they will do that. Absolutely. But Dable
stayed there, so I think the Bills are gonna be good. Unless something tragic like this happens, I think the Bills are gonna be good for multiple years.
So, what would be your favorite storyline out of all those 3 that I just threw out?
Definitely the last one. I think that would be pretty hilarious.
See, I would love Aaron Rodgers to just dunk over Mahomes one time because Brady got to, Brady got to do it, and Rodgers has never gotten to do that.
I mean, with this season Rodgers had, and for him to be able to dunk on Mahomes in the Super Bowl or something, that'd be cool.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not to say that Mahomes isn't great. He would bring them back to the Super Bowl. He's fantastic. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. If his career keeps going the way it is, probably end up all anyway. But, I would love to see Rodgers get his shot. You beat Brady, you beat Mahomes. Okay. That's cool. Good for you if you're a Packers fan, right? Okay, Rodgers finally got his thing. And you know what? They can, and Packers fans get to say that Rodgers was a better quarterback than Brady forever because he beat him in a Super Bowl or beat him in a championship game and went on to beat the MVP. And he has 2, Brady has 6, and we can argue about that forever, like MJ and LeBron. And I'm fine with that. I love that. Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless are going to talk about that forever.
Exactly.
So I'm okay. And Max Kellerman's going to give a shit opinion. But you know what I mean? I would love these storylines. Are great.
Yeah,
dude. What if Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl?
Dude, it's insane, and I'm going to be excited. I can't wait for next week's pod to discuss these storylines some more. I think it's going to be exciting football this weekend. I think the people of America, we really need it. I think the NFL has been really fun this year, and I'm super excited for it, John. I think that's going to be it for tonight. What do you think?
That's right. Mike, I think that people can follow me at John J. Papp on Twitter, John Wick on Instagram, and absolutely the Coldest of Takes on every platform that you've not even listened to us. go to another platform and listen to us. We'll still be there, Mike.
That's right. Coldest of Takes.
Mike, where do the people find you before we're out of here?
At st_Katzer on Twitter. Make sure you follow my man John at John J Pat on Twitter. John, thank you so much for tonight. I had blast. I hope you did. I definitely think the listeners did. I think we hit them hard, various angles, a lot of different topics, a lot of fun tonight, man.
Mike, I loved it. Love talking to you. Peace.
All right, take it easy, my guy. I'll talk to you soon.
Later,
my guy. Peace. All right, and that was the pod. Look for the next one.